Hi guys, welcome back. Congratulations South Africa, Rugby World Cup champions 2019. Very well deserved. Thumped England. England were poor, South Africa were amazing, and they didn't let England play at all. And wow, just fantastic for South Africa. I'm gutted as an England fan, but I can appreciate that South Africa deserved to be World Cup champions. So let's have a look at the match. We'll go through some of the key points and where South Africa won it, where England lost it. I'm going to go through a bit more of a tactical and player analysis in another video, but let's just look at the match as it's the final. Let's have a little go through it. So at the beginning, South Africa looked really emotional. They've been building all week, all the stuff I've been saying all week in my videos of the dangers that South Africa brought to this final and how it's such a different game to the New Zealand game to England. Proved true. The whole nation was behind South Africa. There was a lot of history, there was a lot of emotion behind this win. And you could see it from the beginning, and I wrote it down. I could really see that emotional intensity in their faces. And straight away, okay, first minute, really rubbish penalty from Laws not rolling away. But Pollard actually misses the kick and lets England off massively. Maybe a few nerves, 0-0. And then Karl gets knocked out cold. That looked nasty. Luckily, he seemed okay, but he was so dejected he couldn't play any part of the game. He'll be absolutely gutted. I don't know if he'd made a massive difference in the scrums or not, but still not good to have a player out. But South Africa lost a number of forwards as well, so you know, I'm not so sure that had a huge influence, but who knows. And straight away, first scrum, South Africa so dominant, just smashed England's front row. And you know, you're thinking, wow, was this a mistake for England not to field Marler and Cole from the beginning possibly? But they wouldn't have expected to be mashed that quickly. Anyway, straight in, penalty. Good attack from South Africa. They actually did some nice movement and offloading. And when they did run the ball, they were sharp when they did it. They kicked the ball more, but when they ran the ball, they were decent. England getting a few good turnovers in this first half. They were kind of hanging on, saving themselves a few times. Pollard did an amazing high kick and regather. They did that a few times. They were all over England. Well, not all over them aerially, but they certainly won the aerial battle in key points. Definitely targeted Daly. Anyway, another awful England scrum. This is their own scrum. Billy, terrible pass. And that epitomised England's attack in this first half was so disjointed. It was pressure from South Africa, yes, but England, they bottled it. In that first half, they bottled it, executing skills under pressure. As we all know, is a key part in a World Cup final when England bottled it and mucked up a lot. And then they lose a penalty under the post to South Africa from that botched scrum, and it's 3 points to South Africa, 0-3. They're in the lead. And then 10 minutes in, Youngs does another shocking pass. He had a terrible first half. He hasn't had a great tournament, to be honest. But when the team around him played well, he looks good, but they weren't, and that was terrible. They passed the ball into touch a number of times. Etzebeth looks like he's holding on at this point actually, and I was a little bit annoyed at this point that the ref didn't give that penalty, but overall I thought the ref was fair and rewarded the dominant scrum or the dominant tackle. So maybe I was being a bit petulant at that point, but anyway, England started to get some attack together. And they're in a really good position, but South Africa make a real mess of their line-outs. You know, the scrum's going badly, the line-out's going badly, England can't get going. Another scrum penalty to South Africa on 16 minutes. But England saved themselves again. May taps it back in nicely. May actually played well as in his skills, but he was not right running-wise. He was not right. Should he have played? I don't know. Anyway, England saved a try. But it's South Africa all the way. Big maul from South Africa, looking good. England get lucky now. They get an offside from South Africa when they knock on the high ball and someone in front of it catches it, and they get a quick attack, get a penalty and get on the board 3-3. So England are lucky to be level, but they are level. And I'm thinking, when are they going to start playing? Then South Africa lose some players. There's an HIA to Mbanambi, Diaga, his shoulder looks all sorts of problems, dislocated, looks very dislocated to me. Anyway, so that's poor, but luckily they've stacked up on second rows, so they cope with losing second rows and forwards. You know, that 6-2 split really paid off for them again. More terrible execution on 22 minutes. England knock on after a poor kick-off receipt. I mean, not only is South Africa playing well, but England are just crap in this first half, to be honest. don't deserve. At this point, I'm thinking even if they do win, maybe they don't deserve to because their skills are so poor. South Africa leave the ball in the scrum from the resulting knock-on. They don't want to play the ball, and why should they? Because they know where they're going to win this game. Milk the penalty, win the penalty, 3-6, pulling ahead, just playing to their strengths. More errors from England, even when they got the ball. Forward kicks out on the full. They've just been so poor. England do get a good maul defence. Itoje does swim through the middle, forces a mistake, but then they concede a penalty. They get a penalty from the turnover. And better England attack now. 28 minutes, the first really good England attack. But we see the South African defence stepping up as they did the whole game. Very aggressive. England gets 5 metres out but cannot get through. This was a big point. England have scored well in this World Cup. They've attacked very well, and when they're near 5 metres out they tend to score, but they could not. So they get a penalty 6-all, but you're thinking, that was a big chance. And that really is a problem for them. And their passing was not out in front. It was very poor. 35 minutes and Pimpy wins another aerial battle as he does all game. They win a penalty from that, win the penalty, score the penalty 6-9, and it's just really good skill execution from South Africa. That kicking game is really working well. More errors. Daly was awful this game, to be honest. Knocks off an easy pick-up. Really, really poor. They get a scrum from that, win another penalty, 6-12. So England are making errors, but South Africa are just killing them when they get the chance. I've written down here, surely Marler comes on soon in the scrum, and they should have brought him on sooner, but he does come on. Half-time, South Africa deserve the lead. It's quite simple, but what they're executing is very, very good. England deserve to be behind. Some terrible execution, passes, decisions. England attack at times looks dangerous, but defence at the moment is on top for South Africa. Cruz comes on in the second half, and he does really well, actually. Line out on scrum, he does help. Although they don't put Marler on straight away, and Kitsoff and Koch go on early, and they win a penalty straight away. So now England are 6-15 behind. It's really looking bad. Peter Steph the Toys looking very physical. A lot of the South African forwards incredibly physical. I think they hold up a tackle to win a scrum, and from that scrum, of course, they get a penalty because they just smash England in the scrum. Well, I don't think they smashed that one, but certainly Marler's on. And he's making a difference, but I think England are called for wheeling the scrum around because they're a bit desperate to get something now, but they just can't stop it. Ford goes off, he's been very poor, that's disappointing. Slade's on, although Slade does a few good skills. He can't get away, he can't really make the difference. Anyway, Marler does make a difference finally, wins a scrum penalty, that's pretty big for England. They get the penalty, 9-15, and you think, can they come back from this? They're executing a bit better now. They're starting to hold their kickoffs. England win a penalty, and this was a big chance. It was a difficult kick, but they could have gone to 3 points. Then you're thinking maybe something could have changed, but no. South Africa in open play set up a huge maul, which is very clever because they're so good at that, and they win a penalty off it. They score 9-18, and instead of 3 points, South Africa are now 9 points ahead, and you're thinking, it's just all over. But then Manu Tuolangi makes a massive tackle, he forces a penalty, 12-18. So you think, maybe one try, but England aren't playing that well, but it's still close. And then a very poor penalty from Watson. That was poor. Blocking, gives away a penalty. South Africa go for post, they miss because it was miles out, but they're just happy to give away possession because they know their defence is so good. And Mpimpi wins the high ball battle again, and then South Africa score their try. It's a lovely try. England, I think they kick through or something like that, but South Africa recycle the ball, and then they whiz down the blind very, very nicely, very quickly, catch England outmanned, chip and chase, ball bounces into Am's hand, he flips it to Mpimpi, there's a TMO, look at it, and it looks forward-ish, but it's not forward enough to rule out, so it's fine, it's a good try. 12-25, and I've just written game over. I cannot see England coming back, even though they've got time to score a couple of tries. I just can't see where England are scoring from. Anyway, they get going soon after that, and actually they do look like they're going to score this time, even though I thought it was all over. But at the key moment, they knock on. I think Watson makes another mistake, knocks the ball on, and it's the story of their performance. You know, when they do get some decent possession, they're making errors. South Africa, after this, are just covering all of England's attack. They're desperate to break through. They cannot get through anywhere. I cannot see how they're going to score now. You know, South Africa are drifting. They're hitting up close in defence. And then another counter-attack. Out to Colby, just beautiful feet, leaves Farrell for dead, it leaves him inside out. Score 12-32, just completely all over. England desperate attack at the end but don't get anywhere. South Africa are looking sharp now, they're moving the ball with confidence. You know, the celebrations are starting and it finishes 12-32 to South Africa, and they play like champions. They absolutely play like champions, deserve to win. Well done to them. I do have a South African link for South Africa winner stash from the England Rugby store and Fanatics, and use my 10% discount code there. Use the links below if you want to get that. If you want to get any other rugby stuff, you can, of course. I don't know how many England fans are going to be rushing out for rugby stuff, but South African fans, jump on there, use my 10%, that's absolutely fine. South Africa, well done, deserve to win. England deserve to lose. We'll come back with a bit more analysis on this game when I've thought about it a bit more, but let me know what you guys think of that final, and until then I will see you later.